How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be completely redoing this enclosure, setting it up for winter for the animals, because as you can see under here, the bearded dragon is finally buried down. No, he's actually starting to come out again. I guess he's not happy with his spot. So what I'm going to do is change around the substrate in here just to normal white sand, and maybe add in a bit of mulch as well for the bearded dragon to dig down in. As well as that, there's like a little roach population in here which is not good, that lizards can't get to. They've actually gotten behind the back rock wall. So I'm going to be taking that out and showing you guys how I made it and everything like that, talking about this whole enclosure, how I made it, because I get a lot of questions about it. So let's get into it. So as you can see, there's some roaches in here. That there's been some adult ones that have gotten loose. They haven't been eaten by lizards that have done a bit of breeding, so it's a little bit of a population in here. I didn't mind it at first because they were helping as a cleanup crew. This setup was bioactive, but alright, so I just got the background off and got all the roaches out that were living behind there. There was a few, there wasn't as many as I thought, but you know, still good to get them out of there. So what I'll do now is take this outside and clean this and tell you all about it. This setup is about 7 years old. It's actually the first large melamine enclosure we ever built. That's why it's not the best, obviously. But it was originally for my 2 Pygmy Bearded dragons, for a tank upgrade, for them to grow into adults. And yeah, they've been in there ever since. This setup was the second one we ever built, and this was originally for the central netted dragon. And like the first one, it had a rock back wall and everything. I'll put up a photo of it. And yeah, so eventually I just moved them in all together. They got on great. So I just went from there, and that's why these enclosures have all the holes in the back, because of how I set up these rock walls. So these rock walls are pretty simple. The basic theory behind it is you have a base, which is a sheet of wood, basically, thin wood, and then on that you stick a bunch of cutouts of foam, which is what every ledge is and every big bit is. It's all just cut bits of foam that are stuck onto the back, and then on top of that we simply put concrete and then paint it, and that's about it. Of course, using non-toxic paint and stuff like that. But this obviously only works for the drier sort of setups, because if you have this in a wet setup, then the wood in the back is going to rot. It's not going to be good on the concrete and all that. So how we attach this to the back of the enclosure is basically every bit of foam, or some of the bits of foam, in those areas we put holes on the back. As you can see there's one which goes into that bit of foam. So what you can do is through the back you screw through into this, so it's attached to the wall and to the wood, and then if it goes through any further, it'll only hit the foam, it won't hit the concrete and crack that and break it off. So that's basically how easy it is to attach it to the back. The problems with this, obviously, is things can get behind it, like the roaches did, and when you're taking it off it can possibly fall and break, but You just got to be careful. So yeah, in the future, I'll just be making, if I'm making rock backgrounds, I'll just be permanently attaching it to the back, because I think that's just an easier way of doing it. These are really stable though, as well. But yeah. So along with putting the paint on and everything, I also recommend putting on pond sealer to the top of it to really seal it off and keep it good. With that said though, this has lasted 7 years, no problems, and still going strong. These are pretty solid too, but in the future I'm just going to be changing to, if I'm doing rock back walls, I'm just going to be having it permanently attached to the back. It's just a bit easier. It's like what I did in my Boyd's enclosure. That's permanently on the back. So yeah, let's put it back in. Alright, so everything's back in. Ready for the new setup. So here's the sand I'm using. It's just plain white, normal sand. It's nothing but sand. It's really simple, obviously. It's not very dusty at all, so that's really good. The other stuff I had in here was pretty dusty. So, yeah, let's see how it looks in there. So for this setup, I'm thinking about doing some sort of trench tunnel sort of thing underground. So this is what this is, a big sort of PVC semicircle. So I'm going to cover it in sand and maybe move it around a bit, see how I like it. And yeah, this will be like an escape retreat for the dragons, and maybe even a spot for them to brewmate in. Alright, so what I got going on so far is basking spot over here. There's the basking spot there, the light's just there. Some extra rocks around here, mostly just a rocky basking spot. In through here, up the back, that's the entrance to the tunnel. You guys can see where this rock is. It's basically hiding the edge of the PVC pipe as the sand will wear away from it. So they can go in here. It's a, sort of a tight gap because of this bit of the wall here. So the netted dragon will love that. And then just, yeah, rocks to help hold up the sand here and stuff like that. And over here, same again, there's a rock on this side, sort of shelter it. Everything else. Now I'm just figuring out if I want to put in a stick anywhere, and yeah. After a bit of messing around with different ideas and bits of accessories and stuff like that, finally finished. This is the finished setup. We've got the animals in. There's the Pygmy Bearded. So this is the basking spot. And what I have here is the main rock where the heat really goes to, as well as this bit of wood that goes into the sand. Comes up like that. They can also bury down under there if they want. So this setup now has 3 different hides or burrows that the animals can get down in and dig in, hide, whatever. First one's here where the bearded's in at the moment. Doing a bit of digging. Just a little hollowed out bit of wood. That sort of connects to the next one, which is the other bit of wood that comes up as a basking spot. They can also get under there. And then of course, as I showed you before, there's the actual tunnel itself in there, out of the PVC pipe. So yeah, they have lots of different opportunities to be burying around now, so yeah. Sticking his head out. That's awesome. He'll probably be going down into there for brumation. The animals seem to be enjoying it so far. It's got a nice natural look for them. Lots of natural activities they can do. They can dig around, they can go bask in different spots. They can still climb the back rock wall that they love if they so choose. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. These videos are just meant to be sort of for you guys to have some different ideas on what you can do. You don't have to just set everything up the same all the time. You can change it around a bit and all that. That's what these videos are about. That's why I change around these guys so much, because I just get bored of seeing it the same and just like to experiment, see what else I can do. So yeah, that's the new enclosure setup for these. Make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.